Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002.
Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Detroit Lions.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
And look at this. Right away, a loose football.
And one of the linebackers has got it.
And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. It's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is, but to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run, so now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
2nd and 6.
Goff now looking to throw.
That's to the tight end, Laporta.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the gun, here's Pickett.
Completes it to Hearns. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. He's airing it out for Williams.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete. Trying to find Jameson Williams.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You look at this Steeler defense.
They come into this one way down at number 23 against the run of the NFL.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it, and he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalposts, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
On 2nd down, this is Harris.
And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect
Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. Kirby Joseph
in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this will be taken at the 13. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they try to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett.
He'll buy some time right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15.
They'll run again with Harris. And a short gain down to about the 33. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On 1st and 10, Goff.
This to Laporta, right side.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
And off to Gibbs, headed right here.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
The Lions at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the